What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew, and welcome back to Space Engineers Survival. This is episode number 67, and last episode we did a little bit of a mission to the Earth-like planet in order to get some grain, and we were able to do that. The grain is inside. Actually, I'd like to run that, so let me run inside real quick and I'll run that. But before that, we also had an attack on this trade HQ, or rather, we took over the trade HQ, and we were able to defeat what is that ship out there. So this episode, I'd like to try and do something with that. Now, a lot of it's probably going to be grinding down that ship and trying to figure out what we want to do with it, but I'd like to do that. I'd also like to move our prototech refinery off the Manta Ray so it's in less danger. And also, what else do I want to do? Is that it? I think that might be it, because essentially what we want to do is we want to prepare for this AST relay depot that we got a marker for in 2 episodes ago. So I'd like to try and take that out, but I'm not going to do it this episode. We need a preparation episode to get things in order. So between now and then, by the way, or now and last episode rather, a new update for Space Engineers came out called the Core Systems Update. So if I go into G and then go all the way down here, you can see the DLC blocks that were added. So it's a bunch of these rounded corner blocks, which could be used for decorations. We have some cool new door blocks, a new cockpit or two, as well as a Type 2 version of the jump drive, some new hydrogen thrusters, a new landing gear, and some new lights as well as a new hydrogen engine also. Actually, what's really nice about this hydrogen engine is it's very quiet, which is very different from the base game hydrogen engine, so it's a little bit interesting. But anyways, yes, that was the DLC, and then there was also a new bed block. This one right here, the simple bed that was added to the base game, so that's the free base game block that they added, and they added a new way to harvest and plant crops. So now all you have to do is run up to them, and I believe it's click. Yeah, you click on them and you'll harvest them just like that. So you can very quickly harvest things. I still like using our machine for this, but it allows you to do it very quickly. Likewise, if I have a couple seeds in my inventory and I put them on my hotbar, I can very easily plant them as well. So I can go through and I gotta select them. Yeah, there we go. Click, click, and click. And that's how you can plant seeds now very quickly. Again, the machine's a little bit better because it can do it all automatically, but yeah, that's a very cool way that we can do it. So let's go ahead and press our button right there. Let this run through and do all those seeds. By the way, if you're using this mod that I had, I did have to switch this out to Planting Automation 2, which is a new mod that they made to replace Planting Automation 1. And they had to do that because all of the systems changed basically. So we're out of grain. Why are we out of grain? Where did all of our grain go? I think we have a little bit of grain in there, but something must be using our grain. I think I'm fine with this because it's making seeds out of it, which is what we want to do, right? As long as none of our other productions are eating our grain, I think we should be good. Yeah, I don't think they are. So, okay, eventually we'll get more grain. I don't know where all of our grain was. I thought we had multiple, but I guess not. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and let this run back. And what I wanna do first, I think, is move oh, we're hungry. Let's go ahead and eat some of our kelp crisp. I wanna move the prototech refinery that we have on board the Manta Ray. And I'd like to move that probably on board the trade HQ. The other option is to move it on board the Solarstorm, which wouldn't be a bad idea. The problem is it would be so hard to actually put it in somewhere. We could try, if we wanted to put it in here, yeah, it would be really tricky. If we wanted to put it in here, we'd essentially want to put it right where that one is and just replace that with a prototech variant, and then that would be that. The problem, of course, being that we'd have to remove all these things and replace them. Maybe that's not a bad idea, though. Let me go inside over here and see what that would entail. So, yeah. So if we're in here, we'd want to remove this refinery, and we'd have to remove probably all of these blocks here temporarily. So that wouldn't be too hard. We can just go ahead and remove these easily. So there's that. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Executive decision. We're gonna do this. We're gonna remove all these. All this ice we're gonna have to remove, which is gonna be a pain, but we can do it. Let's run over to these, go into their control panel, and say automatic push-pull off. I'd like to do that for you as well because I need to remove the ice from them before I do anything else. There we go. There is that one right there. Perfect. And then we're gonna have to do that for all these as well. So automatic push-pull off, and you as well, automatic push-pull off. Okay. Man, the Solarstorm really is always under construction, isn't it? Okay, so refinery right here as well. Let's go ahead and move these things to the main Solarstorm cargo thing, and then remove this refinery as well. It's gonna take a couple trips because it's got 1,000 steel plates on it, but once we have this removed, we'll have at least the spot that we want to put this in. This is also going to, by the way, allow us to remove these, which are the yield modules, because the prototech one does not use yield modules. It, in fact, already has the 200% efficiency, which is really nice. So it's not only a lot faster, but it has the increased efficiency, which means technically we could even, if we wanted to, move it down here, which would not be a bad idea, actually. If we moved it, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, if we moved it down here, this would make it a lot more secure. I kind of want to do that, actually. So this right here, this was our emergency thing. We're going to remove this. We're going to remove this. Just a couple of these things right here. I'm just gonna paint a little bit of this area where we're planning on putting this prototech refinery. So right there, let me make sure that that is the dimensions of the prototech refinery as well. I'm gonna have to remove these guys also, so let me just go ahead and do that because we need to get out of here. There we go, that right there should be enough room for it. We basically need to move it down here and then shift it into position. All right, there it is, ground down to its base level, and we see where the connection points are as well as where the top is. So this is kind of the top right here. I would like this to be facing in and this to be like the back. So I think we can make this work. Now, Manta Ray, what I would like to do is let's go ahead and turn automatic push-pull on this guy off. So turn that off here real quick. And I'd like to move all this stuff over to a Manta Ray cargo. Yep, the large is fine. So all this stuff right here is gonna get shifted over. Perfect. And then we're gonna remove this connection right here. Yeah, okay, we're locked. So let's go ahead and unlock you. So turn you off, perfect. And let's go ahead and back this up, perfect. Okay, we got it disconnected. Very good. We can remove this and we can remove this one as well. All right, next step, we need to get it over the area where we're gonna put it. So that's gonna involve going, oh, that's the bottom of the ship, going this way, yes. So now this is gonna be the fun part. We need to wait until we're at 0 meters per second and we need to bring this up a little bit. So like that, up. Okay, now the fun part. Let's go ahead and press number 3. Disconnect, and we need to reconnect up there and hopefully not move this at all. It's a little bit harrowing, but here, I gotta have my finger on number 3. There we go. Okay, we're locked. Oh, okay. All right, let's go ahead and bring it down and let's slowly get it into place. It should fit directly in there, and then we'll need to move it back one as well once it's in there. But the way we have it set up should work fine. So let's go ahead and move it back a little bit, down, and this might take a couple of goes. Okay, this is actually going better than I thought it would. Okay, let's have a quick glance. All right, we're getting it in the right place here. This is in the wrong place though, I believe. No, it's not actually. This should be fine. Because we just need to lower it down and then back in right here. I might end up having to delete these for the time being, but we'll see. We'll see if it just works automatically. Maybe it will. Okay, let's keep going down slowly. Keep going, keep going. I'm kind of blind here a little bit. But we want to try and back up as soon as it is feasible. So far, so good. How far are we in? Okay, we're almost there. And this is actually slotted in very nicely. So we need to go down a little bit further and then we can start going back. Oh shoot, yeah, you're gonna run into stuff. So you know what, let's go ahead and unlock these and go up, and I'm gonna add on another block right here, or 2. All right, there we go, much better. That gives us a little bit more room here. All right, this is pretty good. This is what I was worried about though, right? We can't push this back because that's stuck there. Okay, yeah, we are gonna need to remove these then. That's fine, we'll add them back in a second. All right, that's pretty good. That'll allow us to go back a little further. I wonder if we're gonna need to remove these as well. Maybe not. Let's try it as it is and see if we can get by without removing those. Back in here. Let's go back a little bit here, as far as we can. Then we'll try and tilt down here. That's fine. We know that we need to tilt down to avoid some of the stuff that's in the way. This is okay, I think. Let's have a quick glance. How are we doing? Not bad. We're kind of in the area. We are gonna need to maybe remove these. That's fine. I can re-add these in a second. Okay, with those removed, maybe we're able to get it in place. So I need to tilt forward and back. Okay, I feel like we're almost there. Wait, are we? Did we do it? Yes, okay, we did it, perfect. Is the ship moving? The ship is slightly moving, that's not good. Okay, you, go ahead and disconnect with this one right here, number 4. Perfect. Okay, you can sit there for a second. We can remove these. It's fine. We'll get them in a second. Okay, so this is now connected. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these blocks that are down here with heavy armor blocks, I think, because I don't want the bottom becoming a problem. Okay, that should now be connected to the rest of the ship. That's fine. So this is light. Perfect. Light as well. Light as well. And then I believe from there on it becomes heavy. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna change these into heavies. So I'm gonna grab your color. Perfect, and then go right here. Although maybe I want to connect this up. Let's hang on now. We have a connection right here. I could bring this connection and then connect this as like a redundant thing. We also have a connection right there. So you know what? This is how we're gonna make our connection. We're gonna do not a conveyor junction, but we'll do a straight conveyor right there. And then we'll do a cargo terminal right here. So one of these guys facing right there. Let's go ahead and build that up. That's going to be our cargo terminal. And then this right here is going to put everything inside the Solarstorm cargo right there. So let's put all this stuff in there and then you can get removed. All right, perfect. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run through and build up all of these heavy armor blocks here because I don't want this thing getting damaged by random shots. So all this stuff right here can become heavy armor. Looks like the build and repair is gonna chime in and help us out a little bit. Very nice. All right, there we go. We now have heavy armor under this entire thing right here. And we have this connected in a pretty decent way. I think I wanna add heavy armor up there as well. Just as like the final line of defense, just in case something tries to hit it from the side. Because I want to kind of protect these prototech blocks here. Okay, so that's going to protect that. I'm going to let them build it up. Perfect. And then we need to build this back up in order to look like that. All right, there we go. It's now in and it looks amazing. So we now, oh, I love this. Energy source, cool. Yeah, we now have this in there. We can see it in all of its glory right next to these other two as well, which is very cool. And what I'm gonna do is remove these guys. I need to clear up a little bit of space in my inventory here. But then we can remove these guys and we can start repairing everything we destroyed in order to get this in here. All right, fun little excursion trying to get a couple things inside this Solarstorm. It's always evolving, this ship, it really is. And we need to try and figure out, honestly, I could put back the refinery here if I want to. It would fit. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Let's put our refinery back. All of our yield modules were right there. Then we had the refinery right here. We had, of course, our O2 H2 generators right here. I forget exactly how they were oriented, but I'm pretty sure we had one maybe right there, and then we had one maybe like right here. All right, there we go. And then we probably had a bunch of gyros everywhere, so I stuck a bunch of gyros in the places that I thought they might fit. And let's go ahead and stick back on the windows now. There we go. There are our windows, and then we need the helms as well. So here, actually, I can put some of this stuff in the windows because I did have enough for, I think, a couple of them. There we go. Now let's go get our helms. Okay, there are our helms right back up here. So let's plop those in. We're running out of oxygen as well, so I need to try and grab some of that. You know what we need up here is an oxygen giver thing somewhere. Would be nice. Maybe next to this. And there we go, an inset refill station right there where I can grab a little bit of oxygen and be fine. Okay, perfect. Okay, everything is pretty much back to normal. We're getting our oxygen going up here, which means we're pressurized again. We now, oh, that's just sitting right there, that's fine. But now we have, of course, the prototech refinery all the way down here. It's sitting there, lovely. And we have this one right here, that refinery sitting there also. So let me go to our prototech. Look how many we have 2 prototech batteries. We have 4 prototech gyros on here. We have 2 prototech jump drives, and we have a prototech refinery on here. We've almost done the full, like, we've done so much. We've gotten so many things. What I want to do though is let's climb down here, and I'm gonna go into this room right here where we have our normal jump drive, and we're gonna exchange that for the new Type 2 jump drive. So let's go ahead and remove you. I'm gonna take a couple trips, of course, because of all the stuff. But it'll be fine. We have this right here. As long as the thing doesn't start trying to build it, we'll be good. In fact, maybe it's better off if I just remove everything and let it drop. Ah! All right, anyway, now that we got all that stuff back, let's go ahead and put in our jump drive Mark II. Here we go. So this jump drive doesn't do anything better than the original jump drive does, by the way. It just looks a little bit different. And in fact, maybe it doesn't fit here very nicely. Maybe it does. I don't know. Might actually not be pressurized. Yeah, maybe it's not the best use. I mean, I do like this right, oh, shoot. I do like that right there, but I don't think it's pressurized, which is a problem for us. There we go, there it is. And this is what I like about it, right? It's got the turny thing in there. It looks really, really nice. The problem is I don't think this right here is pressurized, but it does look cool at least. In fact, if I change this up a little bit, I can put like little stairs down there so you can go see it. The problem is, that would, I mean, I could try it. Here, let me try it. Let me see what I can do. All right, I've been looking for a way to pressurize this, and this is the best way that I came up with. So we blocked off that section right there, but we can now still see it through this, which is going to be a graded catwalk. 1, 2, 3. All right, there we go. Yeah, so we can still see everything down there, and if we want to actually visit it, we can come down here, and this will show us the actual machine right here turning. And I also don't know if this is pressurized, so maybe all that stuff, all that pressurization was for naught. But anyways, yeah, that's our new area with our Type 2 jump drive right here, which is charging. Actually, no, it's fully charged, I think. No, okay, it'll be charged in 12 seconds and it'll turn green here, I believe. Yep, give it a second right here, and we should see it turn green for full charge. Any second now. There we go. It's now full charged and ready to go. Looks good. I like it. All right, so that's that. We got our prototech thing moved on here. It's over there. We got, what else did we do? Yeah, we got that built up, and we got our farm set up. Although our farm probably at this point is ready for another harvest. So let's run back to our farm and do a quick harvest. I'm throwing a little vent right here because I noticed I didn't have a vent in this area. It was depressurized when it should have been pressurized, but there was no vent actually doing the pressurization. So there we go. All right, outside we go. As soon as we find a way out, which is going to be probably up here. Yeah, that's still in a disrepair. Actually, you know what? If we want to use one of our new blocks, we could probably find a place to do so. Yeah, right here. Let's go ahead and remove that and put in a bed. It's called the simple bed. And we can toss it anywhere we want, like right here. Go ahead and build that up. And there is our new simple bed, which allows you to, well, it allows you to sleep. It's the same thing as the other beds. It's just like a full, yeah, actually this is interesting. It's the first double bed we have in the game. If you go ahead and look at all the other beds in G, we search bed. We've got this bed, which is kind of a single person bed that kind of clasps you in for if you're in gravity or whatever. Then we have these beds, which are all single beds as well. And then we have this bed right here, which is our first, albeit quite small, but it's a double bed. So, hey, there you go. Nice. All right, let's go outside. Did they alter the fill value, by the way, of Kelp Crisp? I feel like they might have. It's now a fill value of 8, whereas I think it used to be a fill value of like 12. So they might have changed that, which makes sense. It shouldn't be an endgame food item like we're using it. But back over here, yes, I want to go into the farm and I want to run a farm, basically. We should actually have some seeds in here for the grain. Yeah, we have 2 grain seeds in here, which is good. I'm gonna go ahead and manually plant those because at least while we have only 2, it's gonna take a second in order to, like, it'll plant one right there and then the second one will go there as well. So it won't actually plant both of them. But seed, plop that down here and let's go ahead and press number 8. Boom, boom. I'm just gonna plant those 2 manually. Then the rest of them we can go ahead and send the machine because the machine can handle those. Okay. I'm having a little bit of trouble here. Had to push it a little bit. That's fine. All these I'll manually grab. I think if I didn't grab them, it would just be grabbed by the build and repair anyway. That's probably fine. It's curious. Okay, it took a second for these ones to plant. That's fine. Right, so these guys are going. Once these get harvested, it should give us 4 seeds. And at that point, we should be able to use the machine and it'll plant them like normal. All right, let's head back outside. The next thing I want to do, now that we have all that done, is I want to do some preparations. And by preparations, I mean, I want to find out what we want to do with this ship right here, the Pride of Adelion. I think probably, I don't know that I want to transform it into, well, I mean, the back is looking, it's still good. What I wonder, actually, let me know in the comments what you think about this. If I set this to AI follow this, will it use its jump drive to follow us? So if I grab this ship and then jump over to that position over there, will this one follow in its jump drive? Or will I have to connect this one to this ship and then have them both jump together? I mean, the Manta Ray as well. Honestly, we could take a fleet with us to there. Okay, I think the Manta Ray is fully set up here. So what I want to do is give it some AI blocks. So I know what you need is going to be an AI, you need an AI offensive, you need an AI fly, and you need an AI, I guess an AI task block. The offensive will allow it to target enemies, the fly will allow it to move, and then the normal task block will allow it to just like follow us if it wants to. So the first one is going to be the AI flight right there. So if that's turned on, it'll just move on its own. So that's gonna be good. And the next 3 are going to be an AI basic, which is going to allow it to just follow us. We have an AI defensive, which we're only gonna use for targeting abilities. And then we have an AI offensive right here, which is going to allow it to do some offensive maneuvers and target some enemies and stuff. Okay, so those are going to be our 4 AI blocks, one up there being the AI flight, and then the rest down here. If we need another one, we'll stick it right there, but I think this should be fine. So let's go into control panel. Actually, what I want to do is add a button somewhere, maybe right here. This button is just going to turn on and off AI. I'm going to add an action relay to the back of this right here, which is going to trigger the AI stuff. So if I want AI on or AI off, the action relay will handle that. So I'll let those guys go ahead and build that up. That should be fine. And then do I need to, I forget how I do this again. But we have timer blocks right there for AI on and off. I'll just build these up right here. All right, there we go. 2 action relays, one for AI on and one for AI off. That should be good. And then we have an antenna, I believe, on the top, so that should be good as well. Okay. And you know what? Maybe I'll throw another action relay right here so I can tell it to retreat if I need to. Okay, so let's set up this stuff right here. No active move type block, that's fine. Actually, let's start with the move. So AI flight move, I'll add Manta Ray to it so we know which one it is. The AI behavior is going to be off for now, that's fine. Collision avoidance we'll use on. The speed limit we're gonna set to probably like 80 is fine. Min altitude doesn't matter. Peak gravity doesn't matter. Okay, so all of this is fine. It'll be on, and the AI behavior will be good. Okay, cool. Next, let's set up the offensive. So the offensive is gonna target enemies. Closest priority, target search interval, we're gonna have down to 10 seconds, I think is gonna be fine. Threatening subsystem weapons. I would like you to stay at range, honestly. Yeah, stay at range, and the minimal distance I'm gonna give you is going to be 500, not 50, 500, because I want you to stay quite far. Maximum distance is going to be probably 790, because I want it to stay within turret range there. Evasive maneuvers, you can use both of these weapons. Yes, those are your railguns. Feel free to use them. Yes, perfect. Okay, so that's the AI offensive. Let's check the defensive. So the defensive is mostly going to be not... actually, wait, hang on. Let me check the offensive. Actually, no, off. You're gonna be off right now because I want the defensive to be the one to determine whether we're using offensive or follow mode. So let's go to defensive. Perfect. And let's check out this one. So you're always gonna be on. You're gonna be searching for enemies with subsystem weapons. I want you to, actually, it looks like every 5 seconds you do it by default here. Lock target, yes, please. We're gonna set up the fleeing stuff, but right now we're not gonna use it. So essentially, we're gonna, whenever we want it to flee, we'll actually tell it to flee, and I think we should be able to do that. Or maybe we'll set it like if it gets the retreat command, we'll set this to like always, and then it'll flee away. I want it to go away from target. Flee distance is going to be, yep, 2500 is honestly fine. Random deviation angle. To make it hard to predict where it will flee to, the AI will alter its course to this angle at the random deviations interval. I don't know, we'll give it something. Perfect, okay, this is fine. Now, what I want to happen is we're gonna set up the actions here. Let's go to our AI blocks. All right, so our actions here are gonna be pretty easy. So we're gonna go Manta AI, and if it detects a target, we're gonna go into AI offensive. We're gonna trigger behavior on, and then if it does not, we're gonna go into our AI basic, and we're gonna trigger behavior on for that one, which I believe will automatically trigger behavior off for the other one. Not actually 100% sure how that works. Okay, so only offensive or defensive can be on at once. Okay, so if the defensive notices a target, it's gonna trigger on the offensive, which is gonna trigger off the defensive. It's also going to, no, not this one. It's also going to trigger off the AI basic. So you're gonna go off, perfect. Or maybe you'll just go stop following, actually. That's probably fine. So it's gonna stop following and it's gonna trigger on the offensive. Now, if the offensive fails to find a target after a certain amount of time, it's going to trigger this to start following again. Actually, I'll trigger the defensive on first. So defensive is going to go AI behavior on, and then it's going to start following again. Okay, so currently the AI basic is active and the AI defensive is active. If the defensive notices someone, it'll trigger the offensive, so that'll start actually attacking. And once the offensive stops noticing any enemies, it's gonna trigger back onto the follow mode and onto the defensive. So we'll go into these modes right here. Then, what do we need? We need to set up this button right here. This button's really gonna be easy. All right, here we go. We have 2 little buttons right here. We have AI on and AI off. Currently they don't do anything, but let me go ahead and set up the timers here real quick. So timer block, AI on we'll start with. So if I go into setup actions right here, if I turn on my AI, I want it to immediately turn on the AI flight. So the AI flight move is going to turn on. AI flight move is going to turn on AI behavior. Defensive is going to turn on. Defensive is going to turn on behavior. I think that's fine, actually. All that is going to do that. So what I would also like to do is all my lights, I think, I want to set to a certain color. So, and yeah, okay, so they added a set color as well for our lights. So what I can do is I can set these to like an AI color so that we know that it's, you know, it's being controlled by AI. Light salmon, sure, it called that salmon. Okay, so our side inset lights as well, I can go ahead and set the color to, I'm gonna set it to like a blue. Yep, that's fine. Dodger blue, apparently. And same with these ones right here. Boom, boom, Dodger blue. Good. All right, I think I've got everything set up here now. So if I turn on the AI, I'm a little bit worried because it's going to probably start moving. But if I turn on the AI, there we go. You can at least see, okay, no, there's no target, so it probably shouldn't start moving. Yeah, you can at least see that everything is this color right here. And if I go outside, the ship will at least look a little bizarre. Actually, some of these lights aren't set up properly. But I mean, it should follow me. Once I get a distance away. Oh, you have to tell it follow me. Okay, so that's probably what I have to do. So did I set this, by the way? Yeah, okay, so this does set it to follow me. Okay, this is fine. So if I turn on the AI offensive right now, boom, it will eventually switch back to this mode in a second, because it's not going to notice any characters here. It's not going to notice any targets. So it should switch back over to that. Oh, it's only when an enemy is no longer detected. So it's not actually going to automatically switch over. I have to switch this over myself. Well, I can hit this one right here and it should switch back over to that one. But if I set this to follow me, this should actually follow me. I'm a little bit worried about what's going to happen if I do that, but we're going to try it. All right, there we go. It's now no, don't do that. Don't do that, please. It's trying to turn. Oh God, please don't slam into my thing. Yeah, okay, it should be following me now. It's gonna stay at like a 300 meter follow distance. So if I go a little bit further, yeah, it is gonna follow me there. And then if I go this way, it should follow me this way as well, right? Or maybe it's marked that as a waypoint. Yeah, okay, cool. It is following me. So this way we can have like sort of a fleet. When we go out with the snowstorm there, or the Solarstorm, we can have this sort of follow behind us. So the idea is that while this is following us, if it ever detects anything, it's gonna switch to offensive mode and it's gonna go fight that. It's not gonna worry about where we are. But then if it doesn't detect anything anymore, if it loses its target, then it's going to switch back over to follow mode. So let's go back in here and let's switch this back to non-follow mode here, which is why we have the button right there, making it very easy. Turn off AI, and we have the lights telling us that the AI is off, which is very good. Alrighty, let's go ahead and fly back over here. Now that we have the AI set up, that's gonna help us out a lot. It'd be nice if we could set something up for the snowstorm as well, or the Solarstorm as well to do that, but I don't wanna set that up again. Maybe I'll do it off camera, and we'll have our AI stuff set up when we come back. But that's a good bit of preparation, I think. All we have to do next is make sure that all of our weapons are going to be loaded. So let me run on to, I think maybe, yeah, you are locked. Okay, so you should be able to connect and build us some stuff. So let me go and check our shells to see what we have. Okay, looking for artillery shells. It looks like we have supposedly some in here, but I'm blind. Okay, we have 118. I think with that, we're good on artillery in that case. So artillery is fine. Next, let's take a look at our assault. Looks like we do have a couple of assault cannon turrets that are empty. But that said, we do also have a couple of assault cannon shells that can be given. So let me go ahead and go here. Let's look at this and see where our assault cannons are going wrong. Because it looks like some of our assault cannons are failing to load. I don't know why. Is it you guys? You go up above it. Should be able to access it like that. No, you're good. But we definitely do have some assault cannon. Is it? Hang on. No, okay, they're blue. Okay, so this is just base assault cannon turrets that aren't loaded. I'm fine with that. But I think I'd rather make a couple more assault cannon shells if I can. Yeah, we have some, but not as many as I'd like to have. So let's go to our industrial assembler here and let's tell it to make a couple more. I'd rather make probably, we always run out of them. So probably make me another 500 and we'll be good. That's gonna require not that much magnesium. We should have that much, at least on the Manta Ray if we connect it. But other than that, yeah, that should be good. Next, let's check up on our Gatling. Now our drones do use the Gatling, so this is important to have a bunch. We do have a lot. We have some in there as well. I would rather have 98 in there. Yeah, I'd like to make a couple hundred more as well, if we can. So let's go ahead and set up maybe this much. And then, you know what? Let's set up a couple more of those. And let's set up a couple more of those. And then we should be good. Railgun sabos, maybe I'll make 100 of them. I think we probably have a couple. Let's see what our railgun sabos have. Yeah, 14 there. And then in here, 10. Another 18 right there. Yeah, we do have quite a bit of railgun sabos, so we might be even fine. But I'm gonna let all this stuff produce before next episode so that we have this stuff going in. And I'll go ahead and connect up the Manta Ray as well if I can. Which maybe I can't actually. And then you know what, off camera as well, maybe I'll go ahead and grind a little bit of this down. I thought maybe I'd turn this into another ship, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just gonna keep this as it is right there, and then maybe grind down some of this stuff. Let me go ahead and eat a little bit of this as we're getting a little bit low on hunger. But I think that's probably where we're gonna end this episode here. Bit of a fun one where we've done a little bit of farming over there, showing off the new farming stuff. We moved the prototech thing inside the AMG Snowstorm. Or Solarstorm rather, which is going to be good. That's going to be its final resting place. And then also we did a lot of work on the Manta Ray, getting it to work as an AI thing. I'm gonna go ahead real quick and run this farm as well while we're sitting here. Push it so it goes a little faster. There we go. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this one. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like. If you didn't, drop a dislike. That's fine. If you're not subscribed and you're new here, go ahead and subscribe for notifications for when videos go live. We're getting close to the end of the year, which means we're getting close to the end of this series. I believe, as I'm recording this on Sunday, Space Engineers 2 should release the survival mode tomorrow on Monday. So we might start a Space Engineers 2 series, or maybe a mini series, and then do a full one next year or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do something. We might even end up having a Space Engineers 1 and 2 series running concurrently. We'll see how that goes. But like I said, that's the end of this one. Comments down below for what you want to see in future episodes and stuff like that. And if you'd like to become a YouTube member or a patron, there are links to both of those down below in the description where you can get early access to videos, you can get your name in the end credits, and for some of the tiers, you can even get a shout out at the end of the video. So for those that we're going to shout out, those are going to be Tyler Hedstrom, Liam Rivers 3378, and Azrael. Thank you very much for your support, and thanks everyone who's watching these for your support as well. And with that, I will see you all in the next episode of Space Engineers Survival.